So this video's about how individuals and families avoid multiple probates across many different state lines. Been working with a gentleman. He's got some kids and he owns his home here in Louisiana, and then he also owns a beach property on the beach in Florida, and then he also owns some property or some land in Mississippi. And he retired a couple of years ago, and he's working on getting his affairs in order to make it easy for his children to inherit from him. So he had written his own will, his own handwritten olographic will years ago, and just didn't know whether that was sufficient. Plus, he didn't have any of the other kind of disability documents, powers of attorney, living will, all that stuff. So we got to talking, and he wants to make that probate easy for his family. And I said, if you pass away leaving what you have to your children through a will, first thing that's going to happen is there's going to be a probate in Louisiana or a succession, and your kids are going to go through that, and that'll take a little while and cost some of your estate. And then they'll have to jump over to Florida and hire a different set of lawyers to transfer your Florida property to your kids, because the Louisiana succession or probate, whatever you want to call it, doesn't transfer the out-of-state property that's in your name when you die. So after they finish in Louisiana, they'll go do another court proceeding in the Florida county. And then when they finish that, then they'll go to Mississippi, hire another set of Mississippi lawyers to do the Mississippi, what's called ancillary probate, to get your Mississippi property transferred to them. So we kind of guesstimated what all of that would cost in terms of, expense, dollars, time, aggravation. And then we started taking a look at whether it would make more sense for him to create it. I'll call him Fred, Fred Smith, even though that's not his name. I said, well, you could create the Fred Smith Living Trust, and then we'll transfer your Louisiana property, your Florida property, your Mississippi property all into the Fred Trust. And when you pass away, then really kind of the next day, that successor trustee can either sell the property if that's appropriate, or transfer it out of the trust to the children so they can co-own it. And all that's done outside of those three different probate proceedings, which clearly would wind up costing tens of thousands of dollars and likely in excess of a year of kind of bureaucratic hassle to get all that done. So he really liked the idea of simplifying it, eliminating the probate. He had read my book, he liked my book. So having a situation where you own property in multiple states, it's almost a no-brainer to put some legal affairs in order so all those probates in the multiple states can be avoided. Several different ways to accomplish it: having all that property in a trust, in the one trust, and allowing that successor trustee to transact that property immediately when you pass away is one simple way that we find a lot of people with property in multiple states make it easy to leave that to their family without a bunch of government and bureaucratic difficulties. So be aware of that. Property in multiple states, got to address it. Find that a lot of people aren't aware that that would be the case, but make sure you deal with it in advance when you're taking care of your business. Have a great day.